everyone, Jen here. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I decided to take the starter home in the new world, and I don't like trying to pronounce it because I'm really bad at it and it's really embarrassing, but it's the new world that came with Love Struck. And I like the build itself. I think it's really adorable. I just wanted to try to spruce it up a little bit because there are restrictions on builds that it doesn't matter who's building it. Someone for EA Maxis or one of the community creators, they all have the same restrictions that they have to follow. I don't have those restrictions when I am remodeling them, though. So sometimes I like to go through and remodel them and see what can be done without those restrictions. I also wanted to keep it a starter home. So it is under 20,000. Your sim can move in, but it's just barely under 20,000. So your sim will have to get a job right away. I tried to reduce the price as much as I could, and because of that, there are some empty spaces, shall we say. 1 or 2 days at a new job, and your sim will have, plenty of money to fill in some of the weirdly empty spaces, which we'll get to later in the build. Initially, I tried to stay with the what would you call it, like feeling of this build. I tried to stay with the color scheme. Yeah, I guess that's what I'd say is I tried to stay with the same feeling that this build was giving, but just kind of spruce it up, being that I had no EA restrictions that I had to follow on it. And also, I kind of wanted to have all the same style windows on it. Not that I dislike the mismatched windows. I think that's adorable too. But the look I was going for, that I had in my head, I wanted all the same style of windows. You know what really drives me absolutely crazy? We have all these big giant windows in this style, and no smaller ones that will fit over top of countertops in the kitchen, or be good small windows for like bathrooms. That is so annoying that they do that. How hard is it? I mean, I don't know, so I'm legitimately asking. How hard would it be to create these big floor-to-ceiling windows in this style, and then also create even just one window that went up to the same height on the upper end as these windows, but was shorter at the bottom end? Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe it's harder than it looks, or I think sometimes they get too specific. Like they have a plan in mind for one specific type of home being built with these objects, specifically doors and windows, and they can't foresee them being used in any other type of house or build, and so they don't think to do the smaller versions that have all the same features of the larger versions. It's one of the few things that really truly annoys me about The Sims 4. I love that we get so many different styles. I don't love that they can't just do 3 basic sizes for each and every window. Maybe a almost 2 tile or fully 2 tile full length, a 1 tile full length, and then a 1 tile half length. Is that really that hard to do, though? Like, is that not a possible thing to do? Maybe they have a limit on how many things that they can create for the pack. And because they also included the other windows, they couldn't do that. But that wouldn't explain why they do it in other... I don't know, but it really bothers me, and it especially bothered me in this build, especially when I went to build the bathroom. It was really bothersome. But I managed to make it work, and I think it ends up really cute in the end. The other thing is can I really keep calling these renovations? Because by the time I'm done, I essentially change the build, like dramatically change the build. This one, a little bit less so than some of my other remodels that I've done in the past. Specifically, I'm thinking of the one that I did in Oasis Springs. Some of the videos are probably not up on my channel anymore. The video quality of my speed builds there for a long time was really bad. Way back when I first started this channel, I was using an HP Office laptop. So yeah, you can imagine how bad the quality of my videos was back then. But that one I did in Oasis Springs, I really truly did not set out with the purpose in mind of just completely changing everything about it. And in the end, I did. So it was not at all the build that was there to start with. So can I legitimately call it a remodel? Since that one, though, I've been trying to stick to the let's not change this build entirely, let's truly just remodel it, take what's already there and just improve upon it rather than completely changing the entire building stance on it. I think sometimes I pull it off better than other times. This is one of the medium times. I did dramatically change the building from the front look of it, but the inside remains essentially the same as what was there, more or less. So I think it's okay. It's okay. Anyways, initially, like I said, I wanted to stay with the feel of the build that was already there. It's very blue and green on the outside, but it was very orange on the inside. And I felt like there was a disconnect there. And initially I thought, well, let's just make it very vibrant and colorful and do different colors in each area and just bring in like lots of colors. In the end, I ended up going with a red, orange, peach, yellow kind of like color scheme. And so I end up going and changing all of the blue stuff. Having lots of bright, vivid colors is really super fun. But if you do it wrong, and I often do it wrong, it can look like an eyesore and a mess. So I tend not to go overboard with it too much, in favor of not having it look like an eyesore. Because when I get going with colors, I really get going. And I just include everything. So yeah, I'm terrible at that. But I think this one turned out good when I finally settled on just exactly how I wanted to handle the color scheme. The rest fell together easily and nicely. The house itself is very white wood, white and red, but I figured, maybe the sim that moves in here wasn't necessarily into all the white wood, or maybe the white wood was just meant as an accent for windows and stairs and doors, and everything else is like a dark wood, like having that dark and light contrast in there. I also thought that tied in really nicely with the red as well. I guess I could have used the dark wood trim for everything, stairs, banisters, pillars, and everything. The unfortunate thing is, as far as I could see, the windows didn't come with a dark wood option. Otherwise, I may have considered it. Or did it come with a dark wood? But I didn't like the insert color. Maybe that's what it was. I don't remember now. I'd have to go back into the game to see which one it was. But I just remember thinking that it's not gonna look right. It's not gonna match. And so I'd rather keep like the structure itself in the white wood and then do the furniture inside in the darker wood. And I think that looks kind of nice with that contrast. Also, it gave me a bit of a, this house was put together by a sim who thrifted or got hand-me-downs or in some way, shape, or form put together this really cute, nice-looking house using previously loved furniture. You know what I mean? For the most part. There's a couple of things that don't sort of fit that aesthetic. That desk is one of them. It looks very fancy and new. I couldn't fit the brown desk in there because it's bigger than that desk and takes up more tile space, and your sim needs to be able to get around the couch. But I didn't want to go any more expensive than that red desk, so I kind of had no choice because I wanted a desk there. I think that's a perfect little desk nook, especially for a single sim just starting out in the world. And there's probably a few other things that I put in there that were unnecessarily expensive. I did do I think all of the landscaping. Yes, all of the landscaping with the debug items. So those were all free. So it allowed me to have a slightly bigger build with slightly more furniture. But yeah, it's definitely a Sims starter house, but slightly cuter because I wasn't restricted to the EA requirements, like I said. So it turns out nice. Trust the process. I didn't at first. It was at this point that I was starting to get frustrated, especially with the kitchen, and I'm like, how am I going to make this match the rest of her furniture and look nice? Because right now, it looks out of place. It doesn't feel like it matches the rest of what I'm going for in the house, and that's when I did this. Definitely older used home vibes, which fit the outside of the building because there is that wall on the outside of the building, that wall covering that is kind of like falling apart a little bit, but not terribly, just around the edges a little bit. So it fits. I was going for that aesthetic, if that makes sense, and it fits. That bed was probably way too expensive, but it was the only one that had a red that I liked that was on the cheaper side, so I stuck with it. Those curtains were a pain. The bathroom was fine. You know, it's a bathroom. I don't really care about bathrooms that much. And this is supposed to be a closet, but I ran out of money. I ended up doing terrain paint for any like flooring type thing outside to save money. Obviously the debug stuff for the landscaping to save money. The only other thing was I put a couple of lights outside, and that was about it. That's about all we had money for by the time we got to this point. We were already at just under 20,000, so you would be surprised though how much debug landscaping can really help a lot that is at the maximum limit, and you like can't put any more furniture in it because it's getting too expensive, but your outside area is completely empty. Debug items are great for that. I generally tend to avoid them because they don't work real well. Your Sims can have a tendency to walk straight through them, or you know, they tend to be larger than the non-debug counterparts to them, and they take up weird amounts of space. Like that tree, I love that tree, but it's huge and low. It definitely probably wasn't meant to hang over a street like that, but I like it. I think it's cute. And so I did it anyways, but it definitely was meant more for a park area or somewhere that's not hanging over a street like that, especially once I sized it down. Also, sizing can be a little bit tricky with debug items on occasion. Not very often, but on occasion, sizing can be an issue. But yeah, in the end, I think it turned out cute, I guess. I think both versions. The original that's there is cute, it's totally fine. But also, this non EA restricted version as well, I think turned out cute. So, it's not my most favorite build that I've ever done, but it's not bad. We're almost done with the speed build part, and then we can get to the walkthrough. In case you haven't heard yet, later in the month of August, I am going to be doing a kit giveaway. I'm going to be giving away 4 kits that I like, whether I own them myself or not. They are things that I have seen extensively in the game, and I want to offer them up to other people so that they can have more objects in their game. Specifically, people who are on consoles and can't download custom content, or people who don't do custom content. That's what I'm doing this giveaway for mainly, but anybody can enter. It's not restricted. So come back later in August for that. And now let's go into the walkthrough. So here's the front. It's cute. I love the little overhang. Yes, the ceilings are really messed up right now. I hope they fix that. I got some flowers by the mailbox, some shrubs by the front windows. We enter directly into the living room and like a miniature office space, I guess. And then the dining space and the kitchen, obviously. Lots of places to put lots of clutter if you have other packs. This is the backyard. There's no fence because, I don't know, I just thought it looked good without a fence, having all that wide open space there. I just liked that look of that backyard that way. No particular reason. So let's head upstairs now. And it takes a second. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Got the nice big master loft here. Master loft? No, there's no other bedrooms. No, it's just the bedroom loft. My goodness, my brain. The closet, which is not much right now. And then the bathroom with that cool new shower door. Probably more expensive than what I really needed to spend the money on, but it's cool and I wanted it. And here's a look at the balcony and the backyard from the top. And yeah, there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.